Yep, we're live. Roman Reigns chooses CM Punk for WrestleMania. We got lots of WrestleMania news. We're on the road and we're watching SmackDown. It's Wrestling Uncensored. Let's do it. Johnny North.
Yeah, happy Dave. We're back to the SmackDown last hour watch-alongs again.
Yeah, it's been a while, right?
Well, because they were in Europe, right, and Saudi Arabia, so we had some delays. Also, you were at SmackDown Montreal, so
yeah,
the
one that was live at night. I was at right in the past month, month and a half. They've been gone. They've been everywhere.
Back on track.
This is the first SmackDown in the States in like a month and a half.
I think since the first week of January, right?
Yeah. They went to Europe, then they were in Canada, then they went to Saudi, and now they're back in the States. But they were in Europe for like a month. Back in the States now in Charlotte, North Carolina. They're live. We got Jade Cargill and Jordynne Grace as a tag team, taking on Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan came out to talk about the Royal Rumble. She won the Rumble, as Johnny North correctly predicted on our show last week. And Liv talking about potentially wrestling Jade at WrestleMania for the belt. I think it's going to be Stephanie Vacque. I don't think it's going to be Jade. I think Jade will wrestle somebody else. The winner of the Chamber, Tiffany Stratton, possibly. She qualified for the Chamber tonight, beating Lash Legends and Chelsea Green. Kind of a messy match, especially towards the end. Tiffany looked like she was having some trouble. She wins. Crowd seemed to want Chelsea to win, but Tiffany won. I wanted Chelsea to win too. I like Chelsea. I think Chelsea's gained some momentum ever since that Unreal clip of Michael Hayes talking about her went wrestling viral, where Michael Hayes is talking about Chelsea Green just being a role player. She'll never be the Charlotte Flair or the Becky Lynch or the top, Tiffany Stratton. She's there to make them look good. And I think wrestling fans went, hold on a minute. Why? She's super talented. She's entertaining. She's better than most people we see on TV. Why wouldn't you make her the top star? Why wouldn't you make her the world champion? Why can she only be the U.S. champion or intercontinental level? And I think wrestling fans are starting to have way more support for Chelsea Green. I think a babyface run is imminent. So we'll see. But she doesn't win tonight. So her WrestleMania dreams possibly, in flux.
I mean, she is the U.S. champion still, so it's not like it's the end of the world for her. She's still a champion going into WrestleMania.
She is, right? And she still has that?
She is. She still has that. And I don't know about you. I think it's WWE just trying to trick the fans into changing Chelsea Green into a babyface.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that Unreal show is not quite real. It's in the title. They're telling you it's unreal. It's a work. They're doing storylines in that show for sure. They know they're on camera. Anytime you're on camera, things change. Like, even this show. It's called Wrestling Uncensored. But Johnny and I are on camera. We're on, various streaming platforms, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Twitter, all the things. Thank you for watching. But, there are certain things that we won't say because we're on camera that we would say, when we're not streaming. When we're just talking. Right? Certain things. It changes a certain dynamic no matter what. So, and also WWE is throwing in their little stories. I'm sure they're planning stuff for that show. the editing process is definitely something that they're involved in, you know? It's a WWE production. What do you think's going on?
Well, if you remember our earlier episodes when we were on the radio, I think we were far more censored back then than we are now.
Yeah, for sure. But still, there are things that I would say to you privately that I wouldn't say, you know what I mean? Publicly.
Sure. But, again, it's far more open.
Yeah.
Especially the language. My goodness. Ringside Report, you guys just don't care about language so much.
I guess.
My goodness.
Yeah. We're more, because of the internet, we're far more open than we were on AM radio, obviously. We can do more. You know? But I say horrible things, John. You know, I can't say all those horrible things in public. People would, think different things of me if they don't really know the context. Anyways, let's talk about wrestling. We've got a lot of wrestling to talk about. We've got Roman Reigns and CM Punk official for WrestleMania. That promo that they did on Raw was magnificent. Great stuff for both guys.
It was just an incident in this tag match right here.
What happened?
Well, Raquel accidentally hit Liv.
Oh, yeah.
After the whole problem they had at the Rumble and all that, too. Now that happened.
Yeah, Liv eliminated Raquel.
And now there was an accidental hit in their match.
Did Liv cost Raquel the match on Raw? Or I forget the finish with...
Yeah,
she kind of did, right?
She completely did. Like, she put the chair there and Raquel ended up eating it. Like, yeah, it was all Liv's fault.
Mm-hmm.
And the finish sucked, too, by the way. That was just... I don't know what the heck they were trying to do there, but... I have an idea what they're trying to do, but it didn't work.
Well, Jordan bumped Raquel into Jade. Jade fell off the apron, and then Jordan rolled up Raquel for the 1, 2, 3. So Jade's mad. Jade has beef with Jordan, even though they just won. Raquel and Liv are mad at each other because Raquel accidentally kicked Liv, so Liv's mad. And then Raquel was distracted, which led to the finish. Dissension in the ranks, John.
A little messy. I was actually referring to the Raw match, though, that street fight. How it kind of unraveled. I don't know if you caught that, how it didn't really work out the way they planned. It's too bad.
How so? I mean, there was a lot of...
Well, there's a couple of things. That whole thing with Liv that happened. I mean, that's part of the plan.
That was part of the plan.
Then they had the thing with the... They kept trying to do different reversals. Like, they try to do Hurricane Rana, reverse to a powerbomb. Then it will be Hurricane Rana. And that bump didn't work out too well whatsoever. And you can tell Stephanie looked mad. And then she just pushed the table over and was going for her finish off the top. With the table still there.
Yeah.
But thankfully the ref realized, I better push this out of the way or she's going to, like, impale herself. So thankfully the ref saved the day on that one.
Yeah, it wasn't the best. It was long, too. Took forever.
I mean, I complained to you there was only 3 matches on Raw, so of course they had to be long matches.
Was it really only 3 matches? It was like a 2.5-hour show.
Yeah, but they started with the promo,
and
I felt like there was another promo. There was a couple of promos, and they ended with the promo. There was a lot of talking on Raw.
Yeah. But in the end, they did deliver with the Roman Punk promo. That was the best thing I saw definitely. All week in wrestling. Oh, there's Sami Zayn looking sad. Sad Sami.
We just punched him in the arm.
Wow. Well, it's good that they're showing him on TV. I was like, where's Sami? We're like 2 hours into SmackDown. They haven't shown Sami. You kind of got to... If he's not on SmackDown, it's worse than him showing up looking sad after losing the title match at the Rumble to Drew. He's got to come back and kind of restart something. Because if he disappears now, then he's not at Mania. But if he's back doing like a sad guy story, maybe something's happening and he can work a new program into Mania for something else. Because
looks like
losing the title match at
right
Mania, you kind of go, what's his path to WrestleMania now? Where's he at? He's not winning Elimination Chamber. Seems like Cody's probably got that wrapped up. So what do they do with Sami?
Well, I think Sami will be in the chamber because we have a 3-way right here.
Sure. He'll be in the chamber, but that's Elimination Chamber. I'm talking about WrestleMania, you know? What does he do?
I mean, Trick Williams, he's kind of feuding with him a little bit, so that's not impossible. I could see that.
One-on-one, Sami and Trick? For what?
I'm thinking like a multi-man, kind of like bunch of guys for the U.S. title.
He
kind
should
of thing,
take the
ladder
U.S.
match,
title
maybe.
back already. I mean, give him something. I don't know. I thought they should have given him the WWE Championship at the Rumble. I knew that they weren't going to, but I thought that they should. And Meltzer was reporting that Sami was pushing them to do it too. And they were on the fence and thinking about it. I think they should have pulled the trigger. I really think they should have done something with Sami, because then you elevate Sami too, and you could do like a big match with Drew and Cody and Sami and Jacob Fatu. They're already talking about doing a match with Cody and Drew and possibly Jacob Fatu. That's the rumor for WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. Why not throw Sami in that? If you have him win the WWE title, he could be involved in that. It makes the match better. It evens things out a little bit. And I think he deserves it. Given the body of work. Given what he's done. Given how over he is. He's a top-level performer in the WWE. And they always just kind of... And he's been talking about winning the world title, winning the big one for so long now. And it hasn't happened. As a company, you can't keep sending him out there not winning, talking about winning, and then it's finally the big one, and he still comes up short. Nobody's going to believe in him anymore. And he was like a viable option for you that you're killing off because you haven't decided when to pull the trigger on him. Well, time is running out. It's not like these guys are going to last forever. So, I don't know. And you know me, John, like, I'm not the biggest Sami Zayn fan.
Far from it.
So for me to say this should mean something.
I'm sure it's a big reason why, like a lot of your feelings, is a big reason why he pushed for himself to win, which I think everyone should always push for themselves to win. I mean, that just also makes sense too. I mean, I get that. But some people, it happens. Some people just don't win the world title. They have people like that. They just don't ever win the title. They're always in contention, but they just never win. And Sami's kind of stuck in that right now. And they kind of like Sami stuck in that because not everyone can win the world title. Some people just don't win it.
Are you talking about the Yankees right now?
I wasn't really
always in contention, just never win. Sometimes you just don't win. I was like, oh, I was looking at the camera, and then I looked back at my shirt. I was like, Yankees. I was like, feels like he's talking about the Yankees. Always in contention, they're just never winning. Make the playoffs every year, Yankees, just never win.
But you've seen them win the World Series many times. Your children haven't, and that's okay. But you've seen it, so that doesn't really count.
It's been like, what, 17 years?
2009 was a while ago.
That's so true. Long. It's so long, man. What are they doing? Anyways, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Sami Zayn. He should have won the WWE Championship. He did not. And I guess you could say, well, but then what? He never wins the big one? That's it? That's his career? It's just, well, he talks about it and he just comes up short and then eventually he retires?
Well, he could eventually one day win the title. I wouldn't expect him having a long title reign, but him finally win the title, it could happen.
It just felt like the time, because if not now, then when? Especially with, like, Kevin injured. It really reminds you, and Kevin injured with an injury where you go, we don't know if he's coming back. You hope he's coming back. You kind of expect him to come back, but, there's neck injuries. There's always a possibility he doesn't. He's, 40, right? Maybe a little over 40. So, it's tough, You got to weigh quality of life, too. Like, what do you want to do? He's got money. I don't know what he wants to do. But you look at Kevin, and then, you see Sami right there with him, and you go, how long is Sami going to last? He's put himself through a lot, as much as Kevin. Nobody's indestructible. And he's getting older, and you go, man, what? If not now, like, when are you ever going to pull the trigger on this guy? When are you ever going to give him the belt? Probably never at this point. I would guess never. So if you're a Sami Zayn fan, and I know a lot of them are watching this show because there's a lot of Sami Zayn fans in Montreal, and that's where we're based. Don't hold your breath.
All right, I wouldn't say that because WrestleMania is in Saudi Arabia next year, so I think Sami will be in a big match no matter what next year. So he'll be in contention. There's 2 world titles. Yeah, he has a chance.
Yeah, he does for sure. But we're talking about next year. We thought that, we talked about Saudi Arabia. We thought he would win the Rumble. Last year, this time, we were thinking Sami Rumble in Saudi was like a lock.
I mean, it just wasn't a Rumble. It was a title match. I think it was always a lock for him getting the title match in the Rumble. Less.
Because he lost. I mean, he didn't even win. It would have made way more sense had he won. He's the only guy on the roster who speaks Arabic in Saudi. The only one. And he loses? They're paying you how much? You go there how often? You're doing WrestleMania there next year? And you're not going to put the one guy who speaks Arabic over? What? Like, it's just... There's so much that made sense going into it, where you go, well, yeah, they should do it. I think it's going to be one of those things that you look back on, and you go, wow, I can't believe they didn't put Sami over in Saudi at the Rumble. I think it's going to be one of those things, where Sami's on podcasts in like 10 or 15 years, people go, yeah, that was crazy.
I don't know, like, I understand him, like, having the whole thing about him is he's the underdog. Like, he has to fight from underneath kind of thing. That's his thing. So, like,
well, the
I
underdog
get
has
it.
to
and, like,
win at some point, John.
He'll have a chance again. It's not the end of the world. He'll come back. Sure. Like, he always comes back. So, like, I have no doubt he'll be in a title match again. And,
I'm not losing any sleep over it.
No, I know you're not. But, like, they also gave Saudi Arabia AJ Styles' last match ever in WWE, it looks like. I mean, it's not like they didn't give him anything.
Yeah.
They're happy. Pretty sure they're happy.
Okay. But that's AJ Styles. I mean, I think they would have been happier had, Sami won. I think the place would have gone nuts had Sami won.
I can't believe they started the show like at 10 at night for them. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. It started at 2 p.m. Yeah, because like SmackDown, remember SmackDown started at noon, I think it was for us.
And that was 8 o'clock their time.
Right.
Wow.
Just imagine, like, you're there till 2 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday.
Yeah. Drew McIntyre cutting a promo right now on SmackDown. He's addressing what Punk and Roman said about him, which was pretty funny. Roman talking about, he could pick Drew McIntyre, and Punk was saying, well, that would be the easy way out. And Roman's like, Drew McIntyre, I beat him for like 3 years. That was funny too. And he's like, you and Drew, weren't you fighting over like some stupid bracelet? I love that Roman, in his promo on Punk, to his face, made fun of the whole bracelet angle, which I was really disgusted by. I was like, what is this? This is a grown man fighting over plastic beads? He's this upset over some beads? Roman made fun of that pretty good. I thought Roman kind of killed Punk in that promo. I could choose you because you're the biggest star. I could choose you because you're on the best show. But that's not why I'm choosing you. I'm choosing you because I hate you. I've always hated you. So good. Acknowledge me. When he said acknowledge me, he like barked it out. He drops the mic. I was like, oh, that was a killer moment from the tribal chief. So many good moments. When Roman goes, my family is the only reason you had a show to come back to. And then Punk's like, you really believe that? And then the crowd starts going, OTC, OTC. They're telling Punk, yeah, man, this is his show. You're like a guest of the tribal chief. He's still the boss. He's still the main attraction. The only reason CM Punk is main eventing night 2 of WrestleMania is because his opponent happens to be Roman Reigns. And that's a fact, Jack. When CM Punk was in AEW, and then he left AEW to come to WWE, the big prize, the big attraction, the big match was Roman Reigns. Because he is the top star in professional wrestling. And if you don't believe me, you could look at who's going to main event WrestleMania Night 2. It's not Cody Rhodes. It's Roman Reigns. It's not the WWE Championship. It's the World Championship. Because Roman Reigns is in that match. Punk was good.
Ouch.
Punk had some good lines in that promo. But Roman, man. Roman was next level tribal chief. No?
Hey, it was an excellent promo. No, I completely agree with you. Excellent promo. I thought it was great back and forth. I liked the shots. I liked how Roman made it personal a bit, too. Talking about Punk being on Cole Cabana's podcast and, like, ripping on him pretty much. And that hurt him a lot. And it's true. Like, I think a lot of people, fans, and maybe people in the industry too, just looked at Roman as less than because of that. And he was always like booed, I think, strongly because of that.
Yes.
And there's a bit of resentment probably.
Yeah, Punk's, he went on Cole Cabana's podcast after he left the WWE. He was the hottest thing in the business. And, he made the WWE super heel, and he was the babyface in the situation. And he went on Colt's podcast and he said, I was in this match and I had to make Roman look strong, and they kept telling me to make Roman look strong. And the perception was, WWE really wants this guy to be like the next John Cena, the next top star. We are mad at WWE, so we are going to reject this guy as much as possible and ruin their plans. And that made life difficult for Roman Reigns, and he talked about that. I like that he holds a grudge about that. That's something, that's an angle on this that only could come from Joe Anoa'i, Roman Reigns, because it felt real. It's not something I would think like, hey, say this. I wouldn't think for him to say that. I wouldn't think that would be a thing that he'd be mad about. But it does make a lot of sense when he says it. You go, oh, I get it. He says, you made my life way harder than it had to be. Because you went on that podcast. It was very good.
Well, and it's a big thing in wrestling, too, where it's like you're supposed to put each other over. You're not supposed to bury each other.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, you're hurting like the value instead of like increasing the value. Like
But Punk wanted to hurt them. Like, he didn't care.
Oh, yes.
Like, he wanted to hurt them.
Angry.
He actively wanted to hurt them, and he didn't care that he was not only hurting the WWE, but also hurting some wrestlers. And Roman remembers that. And Roman also upset that after he shook Punk's hand at Survivor Series, Punk is walking behind Roman, kind of holding the belt up, kind of mugging and mocking Roman a little bit. And Roman's like, treating me like some young boy. I'm not your young boy. It was a very good promo. Like, Roman. And Punk's like, yeah, you're sitting at home. You show up every once in a while, try to, I'm there, I'm making the countries, going to this country and that country. And Roman's like, if I took a 10-year break, I'd want to get it in as much as you are too. Roman's like, I've done that. I'm good. You've been gone. Tremendous. Like, everything Punk said, Roman was like, psh, take that. Every fire Punk lit, Roman's throwing water on it immediately. It's really good. Roman was like, to stand up to Punk at that level, very impressive. On his own, no Heyman. Punk was like, Punk had a couple good lines, like, I held the belt for 400 whatever days, and I had Paul Heyman with me, and you held it for like 1,000 days when you had Heyman with you. You're following in my footsteps. Just because you did it longer doesn't mean you did it better. But then you really think about it, and you go, well, Tribal Chief run was pretty good. But the summer of Punk was also magnificent. Both great runs. I think you could debate what was better.
Well, that wasn't the 434 title. Like, that wasn't. No, it wasn't that, no.
Well, that run was really good, too. Wasn't that run the 434 days where he started as babyface but ended as a heel? And the heel part was, like, tremendous, but the babyface part was kind of...
Yeah, but I also think
a lot of Ryback shit, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was some Ryback in there. He got hurt, if you remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
And then they brought in the Shield to kind of protect that. And plus, he faced The Rock twice, right? And I know you weren't a big fan of that. So that's how it ended.
We kept losing.
Well, that happened too, yes.
Yeah.
Cookie Puss.
Yeah, he had a great run, and then Rock just took everything away from him. It was like, nah, mine. But the promo sets it up really well. And after that promo, it's like no one's going to be able to top that as far as closing out WrestleMania. There's no match that you could think of that they're going to put together that will be bigger to finish the whole show night 2. So Punk is going to actually main event WrestleMania this time. He did night 1 last year and kind of acted like it was main event of WrestleMania. And it was, in a way, but night 2 is like the real main event. Everybody knows that like the biggest match is the night 2 main event. The night 1 main event is big, but night 2 is kind of like the premier spot. And Punk, I know, is saying like, oh, that's not true, whatever, but it's like, it is, man. We watch this show. You know the deal. They always put the biggest one on night 2. Like, it's cool to main event night 1 of WrestleMania. It's cool to be at WrestleMania. In the crowd, even. Just buying a ticket. It's cool. Wrestling at WrestleMania is amazing. Just being part of one WrestleMania. Punk wrestled The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Like, he's had some cool moments. Wrestled Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. He's done some great things. That's why I go, wow, what's all this thing about main event? But if he's really hung up on it, I find it odd that he was so hung up on it and it was such a big obsession for him. And that he was satisfied, it seemed, with doing it last year, night 1, that seemed to be enough. And now he's like, oh, all these people that are like, well, you didn't really main event. It's like, well, you're the one so obsessed with main eventing WrestleMania. Shouldn't you want a main event night 2? Because that's like the real main event? But whatever. Punk wants to change the story.
I hate to interrupt you here, but they just announced a big match for next week here.
Yeah, I saw that.
For a qualifying match. Yeah.
It's crazy. Was that Jacob Fatu, Sami Zayn, and Cody Rhodes?
Yes.
Jeez. Jacob Fatu, Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes, triple threat. Winner gets a spot in the chamber. So 2 of those guys are not going to be in the chamber.
Well, I'm going to guess Jacob and Sammy will not be in the chamber then, because Cody's obviously going to be in the chamber.
Or maybe that match just devolves into a brawl everywhere and never finishes, and they are all in the chamber?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a triple threat match.
So what, is Cody in the chamber or not?
I think Cody's going to win this triple threat match.
You would think. Then again, I thought Kenny Omega would beat Andrade, and he didn't. I also thought MJF would beat Brody King, and he didn't. Dynamite was bananas this week. It turned everything upside down in the world of AEW. I'm actually very excited to talk about AEW this week because I thought Dynamite was crazy and really interesting. And just the creative is starting to catch up here in AEW. WWE needs to watch out because I'm excited about the main event scene in AEW. So, be careful, WWE.
Well, I thought we talked about last week where I mentioned that Swerve Andrade match. I thought it was really good. And I mentioned I think Andrade could beat Kenny, the way it was going. And it happened.
I think Andrade could be the world champion.
You think he goes through Hangman, though?
I don't know if he's actually going to be the world champion, but through this process or whatever, but just the way he's being positioned and the way he's looking, it's this guy is this is a top level talent that's been underlooked and underutilized for a very long time, and he could easily be an AEW world champion at some point in his career. Seeing him over the past few weeks now in AEW, I go, this is a top level guy. They're doing a great job, something WWE's not doing, of elevating a lot of people to the main event, where you start believing in a bunch of different people as potential world champions. WWE struggles to do that. They could have done it with Sammy, but they chose not to. Here's Aleister Black coming out. You don't believe him as a world champion. You don't believe him ever winning the WWE title. What's he doing at WrestleMania? Don't care. Doesn't matter. He's just a guy. What's this? Is this a qualifying match? Solo, Aleister Black, and some other jabroni? What's the match?
Well, Randy Orton's the jabroni, I guess.
Oh, Randy, what a jabroni he is. You'd think he would win this, right? Because he's Randy.
I expect him to win. Yeah, the jabroni.
That jabroni, that big jabroni. The legend killer. The Viper. The guy, Randall. What are we doing? Where are we, John? SmackDown's still going on. Is this the main event? Are we almost done? This should be it, right?
I imagine it's the main event. I don't know what else they can do after this. Drew McIntyre came out 3 times, so
yeah,
this has to be it.
And what happened at the end of Drew McIntyre? He was talking, and then Trick Williams came out. What was all that? Did you catch that?
Yeah, Trick apparently wants to face him, but I don't know if we've led to anything off that. From all the matches they showed next week, I didn't see anything about that. So, but we have a lot of matches for next week, by the way, big matches next week, actually.
Like what? Well, that triple threat, Cody, Jacob, and Sammy, it's got to be the main event next week. Can't imagine they're doing anything bigger. Did they announce Rhea and Io defending against Lash Legends and Nia Jax?
They did.
Ooh. Okay. Lash Legends. I'm a big fan. Big fan. I think she's got a bright future.
I think she still needs a lot of work, but we'll see what happens. I wasn't impressed by the...
She'll get there, I'm telling you. She's got something. There's a natural charisma there, too. I like Lash Legends.
I thought Kiana James is more impressive. Again, she needs some work, too, but, I feel like there's more potential there, actually.
I thought a good angle for her would be, you know how she's always carrying that purse?
Yeah.
I think she should have like other women wrestlers trying to like steal the purse from her and like grab it away from her. And then she should say, "I don't know you, let go of my purse," and then kick them in the crotch. I think that'd be good.
Right.
The Bobby Hill move. I think that's a classic move that always works. And I think if you did it in wrestling, people would really appreciate it. I don't know you, let go of my purse, kick to the groin. People would love that. If that became her like running thing, who wouldn't enjoy that? Everybody loves Bobby Hill.
You know, you might be onto something. Like, I didn't think Kip Wilson could get over with the whole toxic thing, but he's slowly getting there.
Kit Wilson.
Yeah, the hip thing, not so much. But the toxic thing?
No, that's great. Are you kidding? Did you see how many people at the Bell Center? Oh, you weren't there on Friday night when Kit Wilson came out? But my God, everybody in the Bell Center was doing Kit Wilson with him and doing the dance with him. Everybody loves that guy. Super over. Kit Wilson, toxic. He wrestled. He wrestled a match. He could have promoed tonight. Great promo. And then he lost to Oba Femi, which, you know. I think Oba Femi is really cool.
Made more sense.
Huh?
It made more sense than what happened on Raw. I was like, what the heck on Raw? That destroyed the Raiders. Like,
yeah, he came out and just beat up the Viking Raiders for some reason.
I believe they're just the War Raiders, not the Viking Raiders anymore.
Whatever. It doesn't matter who they are. They're obviously just jabronis. You know?
Clearly, yes. Let's just throw them around.
Yeah.
Kind of surprising.
Well, they're trying to push Oba Femi pretty strong. I think they're trying to get him ready quick for Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. That's the word.
I mean, I get it, but I don't know if he needed to sacrifice the Raiders for that. But
well, you got to get him believable to go up against Brock. If that is the match, I felt like Gunther Brock would have been the better choice. That's the one I would really like to see. I don't know what the plan is for Gunther for Mania. You would expect something big because he's Gunther, and he's been, pretty hot lately. Retiring John Cena, retiring AJ Styles. What's next?
Well, it makes perfect sense then. You have to do career killer versus legend killer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Makes sense.
And what, Randy Orton gets a win and gets a little revenge for the old guys at WrestleMania? Because you can't have Gunther beat Randy and then what? Randy's retired? I don't think Randy's retiring.
I'm not saying it's a retirement match. I'm just saying it's a match.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anyone has to retire off that.
So what, Gunther just beats Randy? I don't know. That's not bad. Either way. Whoever wins, Gunther, Randy, I guess.
It gives them something because, it's starting to fill up WrestleMania. We're going to have, 20 matches at the end of all this.
But wouldn't you rather see Gunther Brock than Oba Femi Brock? I feel like Gunther Brock is a way better match than Gunther versus Randy or Oba Femi versus Brock. I want to see Gunther versus Brock.
I just don't think it fits right now. Eventually, yes, but they got to build towards that, and I just feel they're not going in that direction. They're clearly not going in that direction. So I don't mind Oba versus Brock. I think it's a fun match to do.
Yeah. I just don't know what those Oba Femi promos are. That's the only thing that I don't love about the Oba Femi character is that he's doing a fake accent, and we all know that can't last.
Yep. You got to work on that. But besides that, I like the presentation.
When does he drop the accent? When do you think he decides to just talk regular? At some point, they're going to. Right? He's not going to talk like this forever. He's doing a bad African guy accent.
It's got to get to a point where he talks every week. He's not really doing that right now, so. But when that happens weekly, it's yeah, you gotta drop that because it's too evident.
Apollo Crews gave it up. Remember when he was doing that for a while?
You saw him backstage, right?
He was
doing something.
I think he even said a word or two, and it was not in an accent. So that went away. Kofi Kingston, of course, famously had to drop the Jamaican accent eventually because he wasn't Jamaican.
That's it. He was weird. He was with Matt Cardona backstage when Kip Wilson approached him. That happened tonight.
What did?
Apollo Crews was there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he spoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, what the heck?
A lot of people have dropped the accent. Kofi dropped his accent. Remember Lana? She used to speak with a Russian accent, then one day she didn't? You're like, what? You're American now?
She sounded better, actually, with the accent, actually.
Yeah, the promos were way better with the accent. She dropped the accent, and we're like, you're just regular?
Yeah. He lost the effect on that one, yeah.
It wasn't as
too bad.
The character lost all fun. So sometimes it's bad to drop the accent, I guess. Maybe Oba Femi needs to keep it.
I don't know. To me, he sounds fine. I don't know why they gave him the accent.
No. I never think it's a good idea to give a wrestler an accent character. It's like, you got to do this accent. It just always seems wrong and racially insensitive. Anyways. So Oba Femi looks like he's having a big match with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. We're all kind of expecting Cody Rhodes to win the Elimination Chamber and go on to face Drew McIntyre. But I guess there's a world where he doesn't. And maybe Jacob Fatu does, and Cody finds a different way into that match. Some sort of triple threat, maybe.
I would love to see that happen. I think that's probably a better match than a singles match, either way.
Yeah.
But
Cody Drew again, one-on-one is super boring for WrestleMania. I wouldn't even main event night one with that.
I don't think it does.
If
that's the match. It opens the show, I think.
Even the triple threat, I'm not sure main events night one. Adding Jacob Fatu to that doesn't really make it that much more interesting. It makes it tolerable because we've seen Cody and Drew wrestle so many times. They did a 3 stages of hell. I mean, they've done everything. So, outside of maybe doing Cody Drew and maybe a Hell in a Cell, you'd have to do a real crazy gimmick, you know? Adding Jacob Fatu is, I think, necessary for the match to be worth anything. And even then, I don't think it's worthy of a main event for night one. I think you main event night one with something else. Maybe the women's tag titles or one of the women's titles. Jade and Tiffany or Becky versus AJ Lee for the Intercontinental title. I don't know, man. It's kind of thin after Punk and Roman.
Again, wait and see. Nothing's set in stone with all the matches yet. So, I mean, we have ideas how it's going to go, but you're saying it's going to be Tiffany and Jade. But if Bianca could come back, Bianca would be the best choice, I think, for that match.
Bianca Jade could easily main event night one.
Right.
I think Tiffany Jade would be tougher to sell.
Oh, yes. Without question, yes. I agree.
We've seen it before. We've seen a finish. I don't know. Jade and Bianca have way more story. The return of Bianca would be really big. Bianca's a bigger star than Tiffany. She's more established. She's main evented WrestleMania before against Sasha Banks.
Well, we also have Jade finally defending her championship for the first time next week.
Oh, yeah? Against who? Jordan Grace?
Against Jordan. Yeah, it's going to happen next week.
Wow.
Big SmackDown next week.
Very big. A lot going on. Angelo Contagonis in the chat says, we have until April to figure this out. I mean, that's obviously.
Hope we figure it out before then. If we don't figure it out before then.
WWE's figuring it out right now, and a lot of the matches are out, A lot of the matches are being discussed. A lot of them, one match is official, right? We know what's main eventing night 2. It's Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, world title on the line. That's done. It's a done deal. The Rumble's over. It's the road to WrestleMania, so a lot of these matches are going to be set up and done. They're setting up the Elimination Chamber right now. You got to figure they've got a good idea who's winning the Chamber and who's going on to WrestleMania. They're setting up qualifying matches. That means they know who's going to be in the Chamber. That means they probably have a decent idea who's going to win the Chamber because they have plans for Mania. So,
since
we're just talking about what they have planned, what the news is and the rumors are about what they are planning, and what they could possibly do to make it a little bit better, because what they have right now seems a little, like we're struggling to figure out what would be a worthy main event for night 1. Usually, I think a better situation for the WWE would be guys like us saying, man, which one of these matches is actually going to main event this show? Because there's so many big ones, but we're not saying that. We're saying the opposite. We're saying, yeah, they really don't have anything that could really headline except for Punk and Roman, and that'll headline night 2. And it's a 2-night show. Like Liv Morgan, Stephanie Vaquer, is that really main eventing night 1? Liv Morgan won the Rumble. I don't think that's...
could.
Maybe. Liv is over.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a women's championship match main event the night 1, because it's been a couple of years now since that's actually happened. So I feel like they're going to give them something.
But can they generate enough interest in a Liv Stephanie match to make people go, ooh, yeah, main event night 1? Like last year, you had Charlotte and Tiffany, and when they announced it, it was like Charlotte won the Rumble, and she went on, she challenged Tiffany. And when they announced it was kind of like, yeah, I don't know, this is cool, but as it went on and as the promos went off the rails, you go, ooh, this could main event night 1 easily. And it didn't. It probably should have, because it was like a big, But there was a lot of interest in it. And I wonder if Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer can generate enough interest in their match to make people want to see it close a show. I'm not sure.
Well, that's where I'll agree with Angelo. Like, we still have a lot of time from April.
Yeah,
we have an idea of where things could go, but like you said, it's more likely Liv and Stephanie, so they'll have a couple of weeks now to iron out that feud, I think, and get us intrigued. I'm sure they have ideas already. They have to.
The Stephanie Vaquer promo is non-existent. It's an issue.
Yeah, but Liv can carry that, right? So you don't really need her to talk so much.
Do you want Liv to carry that? It's been kind of... Promo on Raw wasn't great.
No. Tonight was just... It was what it was.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible, but... I don't know. We'll see what they do. We got Solo Sikoa, Aleister Black, and Randy Orton wrestling an Elimination Chamber qualifying match right now. Main event of SmackDown. Waiting for a winner of that. Who's qualified for the Elimination Chamber? Anybody for the men?
For the men, this is the first one for the men so far.
Right. And we have other qualifying matches announced. 1 or 2?
We have, I believe, next week on SmackDown, it's Julia versus Alexa Bliss and Zelina Vega.
Okay. So that's another one. And Tiffany Stratton qualified tonight.
Yeah. She's the only one so far.
Okay. And the Chamber is February 28th.
February 28th.
So it's not that far away.
Wow. We just started February. It actually is far away, but...
That's the 6th, John. We're like 3 weeks away from the Chamber.
Yeah, February is a long month. Very cold month.
February is literally the shortest month. You cannot say February is a long month. That is factually incorrect.
Cold.
It's cold, but it's not a long month. It is the shortest month by days. By quite a few days. You know? By like 2 to 3 days. At least.
You'll remember it the most because it's so damn cold.
I don't know. We've got Yankees spring training baseball in 2 weeks. There's going to be a game. The Yankees and the Orioles are going to play the first Yankee spring training game. In 2 weeks, there's going to be baseball. So that feels like springtime. That feels like warm weather. Baseball. That's a summer game. Summer must be coming. If they're playing that, things are happening, John. Business is picking up.
I always say get through February, and then yes, you're right about that, but
home free.
We ain't through it yet.
Yeah, it'll go by like that. What else is happening, John? We've got what I don't know. The Bellas cut a really weird promo on Raw. The Bellas are back.
They're happy.
Bree and Nikki. They're happy. They're happy to be back. Last time we saw Nikki Bella, she was a babyface. She was really mean. Or sorry, she was a heel. She was really mean. And now she's a babyface. And it felt like the crowd was waiting to turn on them, waiting for them to turn on the crowd, and it just never happened. And they're like, we're going to go after the tag team championship because we haven't done that, and we want to do it. We should be the champions. And we're like, all right, I guess, maybe. You know?
I'm surprised.
It was very
I thought
awkward.
You'd want that action. Very surprised.
I just feel like the women's tag division is so strong right now that they cannot keep up. The Bellas are just not at the level of a Io Sky and a Rhea Ripley or a Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss even. Or a Nia Jax and a Lash Legends. Like, the women's tag division, Julia and Kiana James, like, every single one of them is working circles around the Bellas.
Randy Orton qualifies.
Randy Orton hits the RKO on Solo, pins him, qualifies for Elimination Chamber. Main event of SmackDown. It's over. Randall, as expected. That big jabroni.
Oh, it's a good PLE payday for him. It's good.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I like the Bellas. I'm a big fan of the Bellas. I think they are, legends and game changers. Hall of Famers. But I think at this stage, seeing Nikki and Brie and just them in the Rumble, they are several steps behind. And the women's tag division is so strong that to put them anywhere near the top of it would be a disservice to what they're doing. This is the strongest the women's tag division has ever been. I just said that you could potentially main event WrestleMania with a women's tag title match. Picture that. That is unfathomable in every era of the women's tag team championship. But now, with Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, two of the best in the whole wrestling business, as the champions, you could envision a world where they're main eventing Mania. You could do a multi-women tag match, and it could close out night one. Tell me that there's more star power in another match than, the Bellas, Rhea, Io, Charlotte, and Alexa, and then throw in Nia Jax and Lash Legends. Make it a four-way. Massive stars. You got Charlotte, you got Rhea. two of the biggest in the game. I think they could close the show. The Bella Twins, you could close the show with that. I mean, it'd be weird to close it out with a women's tag four-way, but I think there's a world where it makes sense. Because Rhea and Io, you know, they're incredible. Rhea might be the most over person in the WWE. And Io might be the best wrestler. Every time Io does stuff, you're like, whoa. You see she did a dive tonight where she like landed on her head and then just popped up like it was nothing and started pointing at herself. You're like, what the? She is incredible.
All right, she's good. There's no doubt about that. And that would be a very good match.
She's more than good, John. She might be the best wrestler in the whole company. Io Sky.
Best wrestler in the whole company. That's tough.
Like, she's near the top of the list as far as I'm concerned.
I'll give you that. The best, like, I don't know.
They're good ones.
Like, again,
they got good ones.
They do, and again, the four-way idea is good. I don't know if they're going to do that four-way idea, but I mean, if they add the Bellas, I think they kind of need to hide them in a sense. So that would be the best way to hide them, I think, in that match.
Yes.
Still, yeah, it could main event night one. I'm bigger on an actual world championship. They have enough of them. That should be a main event for a night.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it'll probably be Cody.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, again, like, I could see the women, depending on how things go. We haven't even really started anything yet for anybody, so.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it will be like a multi-tag match for the women's titles because, like I said, there are so many stars in that division. You do want them all on WrestleMania because they're all stuck in that tag division. I think they're going to do like a, four-way or six-way or whatever. They're going to have a bunch of tag teams in that. Because, like, you want Charlotte at WrestleMania. You probably want the Bellas at WrestleMania because they're back for some sort of run. You obviously need Rhea and Io at WrestleMania. So,
Sounds like it could be a tag gauntlet.
Maybe. I don't know. They're going to do something. Several tag teams in a match at WrestleMania, I would guess. All right, Johnny. I think that's WWE. That's what's happening. Is anything else happening? I mean...
Well, there's that whole El Grande Americano, like, there's the two of them thing.
There's two El Grandes. Yeah, that happened at the Rumble. We talked about it a bit at the Rumble. I guess one of them is Chad Gable. Gable is back.
Right, and, like, they also had a confrontation on Raw, right? Like,
yeah.
So, that's going to continue, more than likely. That's another potential WrestleMania match. El Grande versus El Grande.
Yeah, to determine who is the real El Grande. It's funny, though, because Chad Gable, like, doesn't speak Spanish. But then, Kaiser, he speaks, like, perfect Spanish.
Yeah.
He is a very good El Grande Americano. And the funniest part is, he's not even Americano. He's German.
Right.
And here comes Chad Gable, and everybody's like, he's the real Americano. But, like, he's like a fake lucha. It's like, who's the real fake lucha? It's such a bizarre thing that they have going. But yeah, why not do a mask versus mask match at WrestleMania, maybe? They got to do that. That's real lucha stuff, right? I think that's probably, if they have room on the card, they're going to do it. If not, it'll be the Raw after Mania or something.
Yeah, but no, I think I could see that on WrestleMania in some capacity.
Yeah. Javon Evans beat the new Americano, Kaiser Americano, right? No. Yeah, Kaiser. Because of a distraction from original Americano, Gable Americano.
Right.
Yeah. We needed to talk about that? That was important?
I mean, it is going to be something going forward that they're going to push a lot.
I wish they wouldn't. I don't know. It's okay. It's just so silly. Like, whatever. It's fine, but I don't think it's like a thing that we need to think about for WrestleMania or any of the big shows. I think that's a thing that can just live on Raw. Just take up time, That's a TV story. That's not one of the big ones. Maybe Mania, because why not? But it doesn't feel important in the grand scheme of things.
Well, what about Maxine and Natty? I think they're having their match next week, right?
Don't care.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, Maxine, I just can't, I'm not interested.
Right. I thought you liked Natty. I thought you were interested.
But what are they fighting
the
over? I don't understand. She trained Maxine, but then Maxine sucked, so Natty's mad, and she's going to beat the hell out of her. And then she's going to go after Becky Lynch, I guess, she says. But, is she? I just don't believe that WWE's actually going to push Natty in a meaningful way, and I don't believe in anything that Maxine does, so I don't care. This rebranding of Natty, I don't think is real. I think they're trying something a little bit, but not in a real way. They're not really behind it.
I mean, we've seen Natty throughout the years, and they've had these kind of sort of pushes for her. We've seen this before, so yeah, I agree with you.
Yep. It's one of those things where it's like if you see somebody do some things, it's the same thing over and over for many, many years, where it's like, oh, maybe they're going to do something, maybe they're going to do something, they never do. Eventually, you lose faith. You stop believing. That's what's happening in the WWE. We're not believing. AEW? You want to do AEW stuff? Anything else happen in WWE world? Seems like...
We can make the jump here. We can jump.
Are we jumping? Are we opening the forbidden door to AEW? Speaking of forbidden door in AEW, before, kind of a transition, you see MJF and Seth Rollins exchanging some nice words and a little video there. They were very pleasant to one another. Nice to see. They were at the Super Bowl media stuff, and MJF and Seth Rollins took pictures together and all sorts of stuff. It was cool.
Well, they're both professionals.
Yeah.
I don't believe they've ever really would have any heat with each other for any reason, just because they're on different shows. There's no reason really to have heat.
Yeah. But, he's walking around. He's got the AEW world title. Standing there with Seth Rollins. It's like, oh, that's cool. There's an AEW world champion and Seth Rollins, WWE superstar. Just hanging out. Back in the WCW, WWF days, that's not something you would see, It's, it made news because it was an odd pairing for pro wrestling. And it was kind of cool. I liked it. I was happy to see it. I was happy to see Seth Rollins not, shy away from MJF and, seem to be very friendly with him. Recognizing him, giving him his respect. And why wouldn't he? And MJF being very cool with Seth. Not being, rude because he's a WWE guy. Like you said, John, they're professionals. And MJF is one of the best professional wrestlers in the game. He had a very good match with Brody King this week where he lost. That Brody King's got a hell of a finisher. What does he call that thing? That pile driver thing? My God. Nasty.
I mean, it is, but you say it was a good match. I mean, he just pretty much destroyed him in like a minute. Was it 2 even? Like,
Yeah. It was
very
shocking, though. It
fast.
was like, what the hell?
Well, it's to get you to believe that it's not this week, but I think it's the following week. They're doing the title match in Australia, so
Yeah. That's the plan? I can't tell who's number one contender anymore in AEW. There's so many guys in play. You've got Kenny Omega and Andrade and Hangman and Swerve and other people.
well, that's
That
the
guy
number one
Hangman
contender
wrestled
match.
this week. Who was that guy? Mark Davis?
Mark Davis.
Yeah. Him. Hangman beat him. So I guess Mark Davis isn't in the running for the title.
Well, it's not so much an eliminator match, like what they're just doing like a contender series almost in a sense. So, but like for the eliminator thing, again, we've talked about this before in the past. Like, if you don't win that match, you're eliminated from title contention. So Brody kind of had to win that match if he was ever going to get a title shot. So there's a lot on stake on those matches, actually.
So he earned a title shot at Grand Slam in Australia.
Yes.
Because he beat MJF, right. Now, because Kenny lost to Andrade, does that mean he's eliminated from title contention? Like, he can't get a shot at Revolution? Is Andrade wrestling Hangman now for a shot at Revolution or not?
Yeah, no, that seems to be the case. Yeah, it's Hangman Andrade. The winner will face the champion at Revolution, yes.
Okay. Whoever the champion may be. Probably MJF, though.
I would imagine, yes.
Yeah. I just like what they did this week on Dynamite because they surprised me with many finishes. MJF lost clean, got squashed in the main event by Brody King. All of a sudden, Brody King is like a main event player.
Well, what helped too is all the media coverage from the match. So now he's a bigger star because of that now.
Yes. Big media coverage for that match. It made news because the crowd in Las Vegas started chanting "fuck ice." MJF and Brody King are standing there face to face in the ring before their world title match, title eliminator, whatever it was. And the crowd starts chanting "fuck ice." Brody King has been a vocal critic of ice, and the crowd, I think supporting Brody King by chanting that. MJF kind of gave a look to the camera, and it made news. Very, ice is like in the news. Everybody's talking about the ice. And the crowd making their feelings known. The good old pro wrestling crowd in Las Vegas saying "fuck ice" on Dynamite, and everybody was talking about it. Interesting. It definitely added to the match, and I think it added to the support for Brody King, because I think a lot of people are going, he is the poster boy for that.
It definitely raised his stock, I think.
Yeah,
not just in AEW, but just overall, like as a wrestler. I think more people are aware of who he is now because of this. And
well, I think like he was kind of known as like the Abolish Ice guy. I think he wore an Abolish Ice t-shirt like maybe a year ago on Dynamite.
Yeah, something like that.
Right?
Maybe more or
and
less.
People took notice. People go, oh, interesting. And then even MJF was like, I never met a liberal who looked more like a Nazi, right? So Brody King's like political stance is out there and like out in the open. And like he was kind of at the forefront of this like hating ICE thing. And now it's become far more popular because of recent developments, as you might imagine. Like, I don't want to talk about it because it's upsetting, and also that's not what the show's about. But, Brody King, he was kind of hating Ice before it was very over to hate Ice. And now everybody hates Ice. Or not everybody, but, a lot of more people do. And I think it is adding to his popularity. Because, he wears the Abolish Ice shirt like a year ago, months ago, whatever. Doesn't make news. Crowd chants fuck Ice during his match. Now it makes news because it's like a hotter issue. So I think because now it's like a hotter topic, it's adding to the support for Brody King among a large portion of AEW fans who I think lean left for the most part. It's really interesting. We're in interesting times in pro wrestling from a political standpoint because I think AEW is now being seen more and more as the left-leaning wrestling company in several ways, but mostly in comparison just to the WWE and how closely they're aligned with the right and with Donald Trump and that regime, right?
I wouldn't say WWE fans are right, though. I feel maybe more centered, I think.
Maybe more accepting of the right, though. I think there are more... Yeah. I think there are probably more Republican WWE fans. Like the percentage of WWE fans that are Republican, I think, would be larger than the percentage of AEW fans that are Republicans.
Well, let's just remember, Hogan getting booed. I mean, a big reason because of that was because he...
Certainly. LA, though.
Right, that's true.
LA is something else. California. So, I think AEW is just in an interesting position as far as that's concerned because of the way the WWE has aligned themselves. Triple H, very tight with the administration, Linda McMahon, and, So anybody who doesn't like that is going to go, oh, well, AEW is not like that. They're the opposite.
So
we saw that
The Rock's
in the main
daughter?
Event. What?
The Rock's daughter now is going to go to AEW, or is that what you're saying?
See, but that's interesting, right? Because The Rock's daughter, who was in NXT as like the general manager, she quits NXT out of nowhere.
Quits WWE, yeah.
Quits WWE, quits everything. She's done with wrestling. Just done. She decides she doesn't want to do this anymore. Apparently her girlfriend was like a wrestler and she got fired from NXT a few weeks ago, so maybe that's why.
I read something about like they offered her something and she didn't like the contract.
Okay. I don't know what her deal was. I don't know why she decided to quit, but she did decide to quit. And then what was her tweet exactly? The Rock daughter tweet. Let's see if I can find that. The Rock's daughter slams Trump and Ice. Yes. Simone Garcia Johnson. After she quits WWE, she says on Twitter, and now that I can say this with my full chest, fuck Ice and that entire administration. So she says now I can say this because she's no longer with the WWE. So that shows you that if you're with WWE, you are not allowed to speak out, or it's frowned upon at the very least, to speak out against the administration. And you would think that it's more than frowned upon. You're just straight up not allowed if you're The Rock's daughter and you work for WWE and you can't get away with it. Like, you would think if anybody working for WWE could get away with saying whatever they want on social media, it would be The Rock's daughter. But even she felt censored or was censored in the company, leaves the company, says, "Well, fuck ice, fuck the administration." You go, "Oh." Like, that to me was not her political stance, because, like, whatever. She's one person. It doesn't really matter. I wonder if Dwayne agrees with her, because I don't know. You know? He's been very rich and very famous for a long time. Usually that tends to run a certain direction. They want to keep their money. So, whatever. But the fact, to me, that she's saying, now I can say this, that's the biggest story out of everything. Not that she's saying it, not that she's making the statement, which she then, like, deleted her whole Twitter afterwards. So, I don't know. Maybe somebody told her she had to. But I thought it was real interesting that she's like, I couldn't say this when I was in WWE, but now that I'm not, those guys are bad. Interesting.
I just have this feeling it's probably going to happen in AEW. It might happen in WWE. I think more fans are going to be speaking out against ICE now. They're going to use, like, wrestling as a platform now to speak out against them.
WWE's not going to do it.
I think WWE might turn down the volume when the crowd does that. I'm pretty sure that would happen.
Yeah, well, that's it. Those chants would not get through on Netflix. Wouldn't happen. Wouldn't happen. And if I'm Tony Khan, I got to make sure my citizenship is all good, because they might deport me. I mean, Trump is a vengeful man, and if he has you in his crosshairs, he'll come after you with complete unlawful force. That's been proven. So,
well, and you got to be careful, because you have a lot of people that are on visas. Any wrestler for AEW,
I would be careful. American citizen or not, you could be deported. They are planning on deporting you. Where are they going to deport you? Who knows? They're going to roll the dice, and then we'll see. That's how it seems to operate over there.
But yeah, definitely, it made the news this week, without question.
Yeah. Pretty nuts. Pretty wild stuff going on in AEW land. And in America in general. What a time to be alive. Well,
another thing that happened on Dynamite, I have to give a lot of credit to Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. I thought they were a great tag team. Showed a lot of great tag team work together, and they won the opportunity to face the tag team champions at Grand Slam. I hope they win. To me, they're the best tag team right now in AEW.
Yeah. You had two matches on Dynamite where you had challengers wrestling the champions in non-title matches to earn a shot at the title. And usually they don't win, but they both won. Like, you don't see the champions just lose, but they did. You saw Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford beat Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron, the tag team champions, to earn a title shot. And you saw Brody King beat MJF to earn a title shot. Both surprise victories. Kenny Omega lost to Andrade. There was a little outside interference there. A little Don Callis trickery and some low blow from Andrade. But still, Andrade beat Kenny. We thought we were headed towards Kenny versus Hangman for a shot at MJF, but now it seems like it's going to be Hangman and Andrade for a shot at MJF. I still think it's going to be Hangman, but hey, could be Andrade MJF. Why not?
Stranger things have happened. Like I thought Kenny was getting the shot pay-per-view, but not going to be him. So, I mean, either way it works. I mean, either way, if it's Andrade, if it's Hangman, it's a good match either way against MJF, I think.
Yeah. I think it makes more sense if it's Hangman, though, because Hangman's a babyface and MJF's a heel. Andrade's a heel. It's kind of weird, but like, who are you supposed to cheer for? I guess MJF.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because, Andrade's with the Don Callis family, so yeah. They're the top heel faction now.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you probably do Hangman MJF. Plus, that's kind of a bigger match. That's a big one. You go, ooh, okay. Will Hangman win? Does he take the title back? I think that's a big one.
I'd say no.
But sure,
yeah, it's a big match.
It's still something worth doing, I think.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot there. Because, I mean, Hangman beat MJF last time on pay-per-view, right? So.
Yeah. How about Ricochet? He beat Jungle Boy, but that's not really...
No, that's the big thing about Ricochet.
Right? Ricochet was on the internet this week. He was on Twitter, and he decided to say some things.
And apparently he upset a lot of people in the business, too.
Yeah, he did. I think he deleted all that stuff.
Did he? Wow. So he pretty much bashed WWE is what happened.
No, he didn't.
Oh, yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
Sorry, it just happened a few days ago. I'm just going through his timeline, and there's just like a lot there. Let me go
from the beginning.
Well, I'm just gonna give you a summary of some of these tweets here. Let's see.
We're actually looking at them.
Ricochet,
there's a lot of tweets there.
Richard O'Shea. Let's see if I can zoom in here. So same thing happens to Balor, Shinsuke, Apollo, and many others. WWE kills legacies and love of the sport. It's what they do best. I do feel this way, and many others do as well. That company kills the love, and you end up being a shell of who you were and going through the motions. They haven't for a while. Even when I was IC and US champ, they meant nothing. I'd argue El Generico has a better legacy than Sami Zayn. Which now Sami didn't seem to like.
Yes.
Sami
and he responded, yeah.
Responded in a way. Talking about legacy, meaning he posted a video of Mike Tyson getting interviewed by a kid, and the kid asked him about legacy, and then he goes into legacy, it's nothing, who cares, you're dead, it doesn't matter. And I think that was Sami's response to the legacy thing from Ricochet, so I guess Sami took issue with it. But Ricochet says, they took my love of pro wrestling away. I'll never forget how I felt walking into work every week, and that platform was only to make others look good at my expense. And I told them I'd rather quit and go back to the indies and make whatever I'd make there than to come back next week. Many discovered me at a time where my talents and legacy were being taken advantage of by a company that didn't really care about me. However, more people have been following me since before WWE and appreciate what they know I can bring and what I can do. No longer want to watch. Yeah.
Some venting right there. A lot of venting. Angry.
Yeah.
Angry at the...
Yeah. Unhappy with his time in WWE. Didn't feel like he got a fair shake. And you see what he's done in AEW, given some time to shine and to do some things, and it's a much better version of Ricochet. It's a Ricochet with personality, which throughout his entire run in WWE was just never there. And clearly, there's something there.
Yeah, but I just feel like being WWE helped him develop that, though. He had to go through it because he tried. It didn't work. But that's it. By failing, you learn, like, okay, that didn't work. Try something else. And, like, you know, unfortunately, he had to go somewhere else to do it completely, but he did figure it out eventually. But I think he had to do that in WWE first to get to where he is now.
Sure. But maybe, you know, WWE, I mean, he's speaking what he believes is true and how he felt. Like, he felt like his love for pro wrestling was gone because of the structure in WWE. And I think that the WWE corporate wrestling structure isn't for everybody. It's not.
Yeah, he's more of a wrestler. That's why.
A lot of times when you're in that really corporate structure where there's a lot of oversight and they're micromanaging everything you do, and they're not really letting you be creative, it's like it takes the fun out of it. I could understand that completely. Like when I was on the radio and it was like we were owned by like Chum and we were on Green Avenue and it was like we were our own thing.
I remember.
It was way more fun than when we moved to Papineau and we were like in the same building as like CJAD and all these like Shome and Virgin Radio. Like when we joined up with Bell Media and that whole corporate structure, it was far more corporate, way more micromanaged, way more like way less creative, way less room to have fun. And when you kind of, make it more like that, it takes the fun out of it. And it's more fun sometimes when you're in like a smaller place where you have more creative liberty to do things and to do, quality. And you see in AEW, you're given the leash to go and do quality stuff, like real good stuff. Whereas in the WWE, you got to kind of fit within their confines and you're going to do okay stuff. But I think MJF said it, like, WWE is McDonald's. They're giving you McDonald's. It's fine, but AEW is like a gourmet burger. It's like nicer. It's better. Not everybody's going to go out and seek it out. More people are going to eat McDonald's, but the quality is going to be with AEW. And I feel like I made that analogy and MJF stole it from me now that I'm saying it. Because I feel, I know I read a quote from MJF that was basically that. And I think I said that. Didn't I say that a few months ago? How WWE was kind of like the McDonald's of pro wrestling. Like they make this kind of, you know what you're getting. It's the same every time. It's okay. It's good. You'll eat it. But like it's not as good as like a good, like a Delalo burger, which is like much nicer.
I don't know if you used that exact analogy like that. I think you may have said like, it's fast food, and then you may have said something like that. I don't know if you used McDonald's and all that, but
I think he said McDonald's. I'm pretty sure he stole. Yeah, he must be watching Wrestling Uncensored. I mean, how many wrestling shows are hosted by Jews? MJF has got to be coming to us. He's got.
There is a photo of you wearing his like sweater, so it's not impossible, I guess.
Come on, man. We're both super menches. I know he's watching. He's got to be. I'm the most Hanukkah-centric wrestling show there is. Nobody celebrates Hanukkah like me, baby. Nobody. Me and MJF, top Jews in wrestling. Forget you, Paul Heyman. You're out of the club. Kicking you out, brother. I think, is Meltzer Jewish?
I'm not sure.
Thought he was. Hoped he was. That'd be nice.
I don't know why, like, you hope for that.
I don't know. I don't know why either, but I don't know. It'd be good. There's so few Jews in wrestling. It'd be good if the top reporter in wrestling was Jewish. Be like, oh, there's one. Not many. There's Goldberg and MJF. Goldberg, MJF, Barry Horowitz, and Colt Cabana. That's like the Mount Rushmore of Jewish wrestling. It's not the best. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. But, like, not many of us is what I'm saying. In the business. You know who's not Jewish? Triple H. Not Jewish. Anyways, I think that's the end of the show. I think we got to end it on that. Who's Jewish and who's not. What a show we've had.
Well, it's been fun talking about the ups and downs and the controversies in wrestling this week, without question.
That's right. Yes.
You didn't even mention there was talk of Ric Flair coming back. He's not coming back, but there was talk.
He said he's not.
Yeah, he's not coming back. But someone threw it out there like he was kind of talking about it, but then he's like he's not going to do it.
Yeah, well that's
Which good. I think Charlotte also said absolutely not. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, he's not allowed, which is good. Ooh. Mario Tennis Fever releasing next week, Johnny. Are you excited? I'm excited. Oh, you don't have Switch 2. It's supposed to be amazing. That's what I want to end you on. New Mario Tennis. Mario Tennis Fever for Switch 2 is supposed to be one of the best sports games Nintendo has made in a very long time. So all the reviews are very, very positive. I'm very excited.
Well, have you and your son play some games. You did that on Ringside Report a couple weeks ago. We haven't seen it since, so bringing that back.
Possibly. It'd be harder to hook up, but doable. All right. Thank you for everybody that watches. If you're watching now, if you're watching later, if you watch at all, thank you. It's nice. It's nice that you watch. We're on here for you. We're on here for Angelo. Angelo, we're here for you. Thank you for supporting the Ringside Report Network. Angelo, a member over at join.ringsidereport.net. You could support the Ringside Report Network at membership.ringsidereport.net, join.ringsidereport.net. Like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already to the channel. Please subscribe. And check out our website, ringsidereport.net. There's so much there. ringsidereport.net. Go there. So much information for you. Stuff about our shows, quotes from the show, news stories based on the show. There's so much good stuff over at ringsidereport.net. Johnny North, you're the best. When's your next match? You have one tomorrow, don't you?
Yeah, I'll be in Sudbury tomorrow. We're wrestling Vikram, and I have to defend my X Factor briefcase against him, actually. Dang. Wasn't expecting that, but apparently that has to happen, so got to make sure I keep that briefcase so I get a title shot whenever I want.
Good. Well, good luck. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Beat that Vikram.
Plan?
Go for it. Angelo, let's close it with some words from Angelo. You supply us with great content. I appreciate the work you do. Well, that is, I just like that. That's nice. Thank you, Angelo, for that.
Great guy.
That's nice. It's just a nice thing to say. Feels good. Thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. We'll see you again real soon here on the Ringside Report Network.
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word.
You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button. Flip those notification switches.
We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again next time, and have a good night.